Did Nate
Wow.
make an original recording for
Look
this?
at that. Dollar Jill.
AI generated.
I love it.
That was Nate.
AI generated. That is so cool.
It.
So,
I
of
love
course,
it.
we're talking in Money Watch about how to protect yourself and your job in uncertain economic times. This week's Facebook parent company Meta announced plans to lay off another 10,000 employees after cutting 11,000 jobs back in November. It is just one of the many tech companies reducing their workforce this year. This, along with the Silicon Valley Bank collapse and high inflation, has many Americans on edge. And you just heard that introduction. She needs no introduction. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger is back with what you need to know. Dollar Jill, what's up?
Good morning. I know, I'm sorry we're laughing because this is like pretty serious. People are losing their jobs.
Yes.
I don't want people to freak out.
No, so that's the question we have for you. What should people know about the state of the economy right now when they see numbers like that, when they see the collapse of that bank, and there perhaps will be others? What do you want them to be focused on?
I think the most important thing is that actually the economy is doing okay right now. And we hear a lot of layoffs in the technology sector, certainly layoffs in the media sector. But overall, the job situation remains pretty good. If we look at last month, 311,000 jobs created. We're very deep into a recovery. The unemployment rate is at 3.6%. It's pretty close to these 50-year lows. And we also look back, say, 6 months, and average job creation for the last 6 months, over 340,000 jobs a month. This is a market, in terms of the labor market, and an economy that continues to produce jobs. That said, I hate to be a buzzkill, Jill, because I play one on TV. When things are good, that's when I actually want to talk about what you should be thinking about in case you're worried about a layoff.
Well, before we get to layoffs, let's talk about you have a job and you want more money for that job. In your book, Great Money Reset, you talk about being an advocate for yourself at work. I want to talk about quiet quitters in a second also, but for people looking for that raise, how should they go about getting it?
I think what's most important when we look at our careers is to understand that we have power. It's not unlimited power, but we have to be able to have conversations with the people who we work with and for. So before you book this conversation, though, you want to do some homework. And you really have to button up what you're asking for. And I think this is incredibly important. People want different things. So do I want more flex time? Do I want a raise? Do I want vacation? And then I really want to understand what's going on at my company. Because if I work at Meta right now and I go in and ask for a raise, they're going to look at me like, you're nuts, Jill, right? So you understand the landscape of the company. You have to practice your pitch. You really should. And I think this is good to have a friend that you can just say, hey, Vlad, let's run through this. Let me look at this. And you also want to make sure you don't act like a jerk. You want to lose the ego. Even if you're in a business that really does value what you're doing, don't be that person who pounds the desk. Don't make ultimatums. And please do not burn bridges. Life is short and people move around quite a bit.
But you have to open the conversation. I remember I had a short stint in finance, and I remember we were literally taught that men were more likely to go into the office and ask for that raise than women, and that was part of why men are paid more, because they're opening their mouths. So it's really, this is such good advice. Quiet quitting, though, we got to talk about quiet quitting. This is like this idea of people who are really losing engagement in their jobs, doing the bare minimum. I imagine this is not a time for that.
Yes, I mean, look, I don't want to sound like old Aunt Jill saying there is no such thing as work-life balance. However, I think at a time where the economy is becoming a lot more uncertain and we see layoffs that are starting to spread into other sectors, now might be the time where I actually get more engaged, where I raise my hand and I ask for more of the responsibility. It's a weird thing how quickly things can turn. To go back in time, you can say just a year and a half ago, employers and employees had a really different view of what was going on. Employees had a lot of power. Now that's shifting and things can turn very quickly. So please don't go sort of on your back feet. It's action time, not passivity time.
If you're going to quit loud. Get out there. That's when they pound the table.
Own it.
Such good advice, Jill. Thank you so much.